This is KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome to the Marc Kapetan Show. This is attorney Marc Kapetan, your host. Today's show is brought to you by the Kapetan Brothers Law Firm. By the way, Happy New Year, everybody. It is now 2025. Oh my God. 2025. I used to dream about that back in the day. Like where I would be if I'd be alive, for goodness sakes, if we'd have flying cars. Welcome to the Marc Kapetan Show. This is attorney Marc Kapetan, your host. Listen, Kapetan Brothers Law Firm, if you or anybody you know has been injured in an auto accident, truck accident, or a motorcycle accident, give the Kapetan Brothers a call at 559-498-8000. Kapetan Brothers, we are the Valley's Law Firm. If you've been injured in an auto accident, a truck or a motorcycle accident, give us a call Monday through Fridays, Saturdays if you want to, Sundays also. 559-498-8000. Kapetan Brothers, the Valley's Law Firm. Folks, Arc Mediterranean Grill, sponsors of our show. Go check out the Akisian brothers at Arc Mediterranean Grill. They make delicious Armenian, Mediterranean, Greek, whatever you want to call. We're saying Greek because we have a special guest from the not islands. You're not an island boy, are you? From mainland. We got a special Greek boy, but go by the Arc Mediterranean Grill. They make some great Mediterranean food. Arc Mediterranean Grill for all your Mediterranean food needs. If you like a little falafel. Greeks don't do falafel, do we, Paul?
They do something similar.
They do something. Do they really?
Yeah, they do something similar.
Do you know what they call it?
I don't know what they call it, but I know it tastes just as good or even better.
Do you recognize that accent, everybody? Yes. This
is Paul Dictos, your assessor recorder.
I love when you do your campaign commercials. Folks, there's going to be no big monologue today, just a free-form show, winging it with a friend of mine, mainly discussing politics, but also a fellow Greek. Most of you know his name, and you probably have given your support to him. You've probably voted for him as the Fresno County assessor recorder. Many of you waved hi to him while he's standing on the streets with his Paul Dictos, vote for Paul Dictos signs. You work it hard, don't you?
I work harder than anybody else. I work harder than anybody else for the last 16 years.
Okay, what's funny, folks, introducing to the Marc Kapetan Show and welcoming him, Paul Dictos, your Fresno County assessor recorder. Thanks, Paul, for being on the show, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
Listen. You talk about working hard. We've spent the past 45 minutes trying to chase down a Greek guy in a car because Paul forgot to bring his harmonica, folks. So we wanted him to play harmonica today. And so he was going to have it special delivered by a Greek guy. And literally, can I say how old you are now?
I'm 81 years old, and I'm very proud of it.
Marcella, he's 81 years old. He is running in the parking lot, and I'm like, hey, there's no rush, Paul, slow down. He's running, he's going up the steps, down the steps, across the street, back, looking for his
6 months ago, I challenged my staff to push-ups.
Yeah.
I did 40 push-ups in the office.
You did 40 push-ups? Wow. I was going to leave it to the end. You knew my grandfather. He was actually my great uncle because my grandfather died when my mom was young.
Yes.
Jim Fotis. Yeah, Jim Fotis. We used to call him Coochie because he used to say Coochie Coochie Coo when we were kids,
yeah.
You know.
He was a great guy.
Great guy. So he used to do push-ups, sit-ups every day. He died where he was born in Anomalpia in Greece.
Uh-huh.
He went there to visit, climbing up the hills, down the hills of his little village there. He was 97 years old. He could still do push-ups, still walk like it was nothing.
Great guy.
It's that
97 years old.
97 when he passed.
He lived a good life. He lived a great life.
It was that great Greek food, right?
It was probably the olive oil, and the olives, the way that we cure them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. He used to take the olive oil. They'd say, if you want to avoid a hangover, drink olive oil. If you have arthritis, you rub alcohol on your joints. Not alcohol. You rub olive oil on your joints. Yeah.
Well, people that drink heavily, they line up their stomach with olive oil.
That's what I heard.
And then they just drink to their heart's desire.
Well, I got to say, part of his long life is he was not a heavy drinker, but he would have 1 or 2 glasses of wine a day, and maybe a little Manhattan every once in a while.
I remember really well.
Yeah.
Him and I had a lot of talks about the old country.
Yeah. We'd go pick horta together. You know what horta is?
Horta, yes.
Yeah, I know you know. I'm looking at Marcella.
They call them weeds, but
The
they're
weeds.
not weeds,
Mustard greens, basically, and stuff like that, right?
Or radishes, wild radishes,
We used to go to the empty fields where no one has built a house yet, and we would go, "Come on, Mark, let's go. We're going to go pick up some greens." And we'd go pick greens, and Yaya would boil them up at night.
Boil them up and put a little bit of olive oil and
a little
vinegar,
limoni.
Limoni, and a little bit of feta cheese, and it's a great meal.
The best. Well, yeah.
Or cure the olives, the way that we do that. I cured about 60 pounds of olives.
Not with the lye. You do it with the salt. How many days? 20 days of soaking?
There's different ways. Some of them you can cut them up, 2 ways. They put them in water for about 10 days.
Right.
Let all the bitterness come out. And then you put them in olive oil, a little bit of vinegar.
Yeah.
The best way to do it, really, you put them in salt water for, don't cut them up. Leave them like that. Put them in salt water for about 15 to 20 days. And then they are ready to eat. Just like that. Just like that. They're ready to eat.
Yeah, we used to do it where we would put a slice or 2 slices in it, but it comes out mushy that way. It comes
mushy, then you have to put it in olive oil because otherwise it's going to get moldy.
Yeah.
So,
yes, you're right.
That's why I covered it. But the ones that I'm doing it now, they're really the best. This is how the ancient Greeks used to do them. They put them in salt water for 20 days and then start eating them.
And they just eat it like that.
You always have to put a little bit of oregano. That gives the flavor.
Oh, that's By the way, the third ingredient in every Greek dish, oregano.
Oregano is very important. Yeah.
All right, listen. You tried running for supervisor, and I asked myself, Paul, why? Why do you want that fasadilla, as we say?
I don't know why I did
do you
it.
want
I'm wondering. I should be examined by psychiatrists. my son and my daughter told me, Dad, you need to go to a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
I did it because I just wanted to do it. I got it out of my system.
So that's it? You won't do it again?
Oh, no. I mean, I spent my own money. I spent $58,000.
Yeah.
I did not raise a dime. Basically, when I run for office, I don't want to ask for money. Somebody told me, if you're looking for a job, why should I give you money?
Yeah.
That was a great idea. So I spent $58,000. I came number 3, which is not bad, for a guy.
Yeah, for a little Greek guy that came over.
Greek guy, I can't even speak English, you got Gary with $600,000,
Gary Bredefeld.
$600,000.
$600,000?
They're all gone.
Wow.
It takes over $500,000 to really win a race,
my brothers and I, when we ran for judge, you were a supporter of ours and stuff. When we ran for judge ages ago, we used mainly I think we may have raised like $2,000, or I think Harry Pappas gave us commercial time. But from Channel 26. But basically, we used all our own money, about $120,000 of our own money.
That's what I do all the time, most of the time. That's what I do.
Yeah.
The last campaign I ran for assessor, I spent $80,000 of my own money.
Really?
The very first campaign I ran for auditor controller in 2002. I spent $50,000, and altogether I must have spent close to about $300,000 over the years of my own money.
Okay,
and I'm proud to do that because God has blessed me, and I can spend it.
Okay, so you're doing okay as far as that. You don't need the job as assessor.
Well, I mean, I can always use the extra money because I got 8 grandkids. Let's face it.
You have 8 grandkids?
8 grandkids.
Oh, good for you.
Really, they're waiting for me to buy them a car.
Do they say Ana Dio Tria Tessera? Did you teach them how to count in Greek and everything?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. But we have 8 grandkids. 2 daughters and a son. They're all good kids.
Okay. But seriously, why get into politics like that? It's just everybody's gunning for you. Actually, you've led a pretty calm life as the assessor recorder, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you had controversy at the beginning, right?
I have great controversy at the beginning.
You've been in since 2000 what?
2011,
I think.
11. I was sworn on January 3rd, 2011.
Right. You were not. How do I put this? You were not the popular,
I was not
the favorite of the government officials.
I was not supposed to win.
Right.
Because usually assessors for the last 160 years, they run from within. You have to work in the department to run for assessor.
Right.
Because it's really a special, it's a very difficult job. I've been there for 16 years. I'm telling you, I'm still learning every day.
Yeah.
So I was one out of four. The three of them were insiders. And one of my campaign things was assessors are begetting assessors. That's incestuous relationship.
No, it's okay.
So
So the assessors are assessing the assessors.
The assessors. So I said it's about time for an outsider to come in.
Right.
And of course, I had a lot of friends who were helping me out. Sal Gonzalez was one of my biggest.
Sal Gonzalez,
a great guy.
I see him down in Cabo every once in a while.
Yeah, and
lovely guy.
And then I went to the runoff with a lady, Carol Laval. Now it's difficult to win a race against a woman.
From the Laval family, right? The famous Laval family?
No.
Same
name.
Okay.
But so we went to the runoff together, and I spent another $50,000, something like this, on my own money. And I was lucky to win. I beat the 52 by 48.
Okay, so you get in office. Man, it's already been 11 minutes, Marcella. Oh, we got to go to a commercial, folks. Hey, we're going to listen, I told you I was going to have fun with my buddy, Paul Dictos from the County Recorder's and Assessor's Office, my compatriot, my Greek friend. Great guy. We'll be right back after this with Paul Dictos on the Marc Kapetan Show. This is KMJ. This is KMJ at KMJNow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome back to the Marc Kapetan Show. We are back on with Paul Dictos, but first, we got to talk about the Arc Mediterranean Grill. If you love lula kebab, if you love, what else, Marcella? Oh, the chicken kebabs we love. What did you have today, Marcella? You had the chicken kebab? She said the chicken kebab was so juicy. The Arc Mediterranean Grill. They have two locations, one in Fresno on Champlain Drive and one in Clovis on Herndon Avenue. Go to the Arc Mediterranean Grill for your Mediterranean needs. If you need lunch for the office, it's great. You could take some out for lunch, or if you need to take food home for the family. Arc Mediterranean Grill in Clovis and in Fresno. Delicious food. All right, we're back on here with Paul Dictos, who is our county assessor and recorder and a fellow Greek friend of mine. We were talking everything Greek, and we didn't get much into your start over at the assessor recorder's office. It was not an easy start. You won over three other people that were former were part of the assessor's office. So you're now the outsider coming in, and you were not treated. Well, I don't know if you were treated fairly or not, but you were not looked at favorably because you were this outsider. The first thing you do, or one of the first things you do, was also not very popular, but you thought was necessary. You're an accountant by trade, right?
Yes.
Okay. You had gone into the assessor's office because you saw something that was missing in Fresno?
I read a couple of reports that were issued by the Board of Supervisors and a couple of reports that were issued by the Board of Equalization.
The Board of what?
No. There was a report that was issued by the Board of Equalization.
Yeah, equalization. I'm going to have to translate for the audience out there because of your Greek accent.
Let me tell you something.
Try to talk like John Wayne a little bit, please.
Let me tell you, when I first got elected, one of my buddies, Mike Foley, said to me, "Dictos, you'll do a great job. Nobody will understand what you're talking about."
It'll be perfect.
And it looks like he was right. So I was elected. I was elected in 2011. When I got in, I found out that the Williamson Act was really neglected.
The Williamson Act.
We have farmers under the Williamson Act, and those farms have to be assessed, have to be evaluated every year.
Okay.
There's a formula. So that was neglected.
Okay. And what had happened was, because we are a farming community and because the government officials are typically beholden to the money holders here in town, in our county, the farmers hadn't been reassessed their property tax values, basically, the value of their property for property tax purposes in how many years?
No. It's only the parcels that are in the Williamson Act.
Okay, but the Williamson Act was what?
The Williamson Act is you get a break by signing up that you are not going to develop your property for the next 10 years.
Oh, for the next 10 years, you're not allowed to develop the property.
You're going to keep it in farming.
Right.
Keep it in farming. And for that, you get a break. But with that break, the assessor has to really adjust every year to see how the market rents are going.
Right.
And this was neglected. So when I got in, I looked at that and I was told, if you do it, you're not going to be reelected. But I said, I took an oath of the Bible that I will apply the law. So I decided to do it right.
So as an example, a farmer's out there, he's under the Williamson Act, and he hasn't been reassessed in how long?
Well, for a long time. Let me not say exactly. For a long
Decades?
time. Decades? I mean, well, I was told that both of my predecessors, they never touched it.
Never touched it.
They were told, that both of my predecessors told my staff, don't reassess the properties because the farmers are very strong politically.
Right.
And they are not going to reelect you.
Right.
Well, when I heard that, I said, that's fine and dandy, but I took an oath, and I take it very seriously as a certified public accountant.
Yeah.
So at that point, I weighted the options, and I went up on the value that I should go up by about 23%. It's in the paper.
23%. By 23%?
23% over the several years.
Yeah.
Well, that really did not sit very well.
Absolutely, right.
With the farmers.
Especially with thousands of acres.
That didn't sit well even with the Board of Equalization.
But you actually went, and I guess we could make him remain anonymous, but you actually went up to one of the biggest farmers in the area and basically said, what do you think? Or asked for his blessings, and he says it's the right thing to do, right?
Yes, the right thing to do. But that caused me a lot of headache, They put up somebody against me in 2014. They got an opponent. They funded him by $90,000.
Yeah.
And I'm working my butt off, And I always put up my own signs and I take them down.
Yeah.
So the night of election, I'm outside, taking my signs down because it's nighttime. My daughter calls, Dad, you're ahead by 70%. Oh, yeah? Okay, thank you.
By how much?
70%.
No kidding. 70%.
Yes. So I beat my opponent by 2-1.
Yeah.
And that's after he got $90,000 because that was the right thing to do. The people, the people appreciate what I did.
Yeah, it's funny because we knew you and we're thinking, wow, and I hate to put it this way, this old Greek guy, he's not going to get elected.
Well,
you get elected, and then the people,
especially with an accent.
Well, no, but I think it was endearing to the people. I think they love you now. And maybe it's just no one pays attention to that race as much as others, but you were winning by a long shot.
Well, for the next two elections, I was unopposed.
Yeah.
2018 and 2022.
Yeah.
So now there's another election coming up in about 13 months. I have to take out papers again.
It's every 4 years or 6 years?
Every 4 years.
Oh, boy.
So I have to run again in 2026.
Are they putting someone up against you again,
they already
you think?
have two people. I heard two people are coming up. I said, come on over.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my own money right out from the first one, day one. I'm going to put $150,000 in the campaign.
Did you solidify your support amongst your people at the office there, you think?
Well, the office, I'm taking care of my people in the office. I make sure that they get paid well. I built a brand new building. This is the first in the history of the county. Now we have a recorder's building, standalone building, and for the first time we have free parking.
And wasn't there something that you actually paid for it with? Actually, there was no tax money or anything like that. Something to the effect. Tell me about it.
There's no tax money spent on this building. The recorder is self-funded. The recorder makes enough money from the $10 that you pay me or $25 you pay me to get the birth certificate.
Yeah.
So that money was enough to pay for the building. The building at the parking lot cost me $11 million.
Right.
And it was paid cash. No public money was used. No tax dollars.
How beautiful is that?
This is unheard of. And now we also have a drive-through service, a drive-through window. You can come and drive through. You want to call up, pay by credit card.
Really?
Drive to pick up your birth certificate.
Can I get a souvlaki with that through the drive-through window?
You can get the ice cream. Sometimes they have.
How many people you have there now?
In that building, we have about 27 people.
27 people.
And we have our archives files there. We have our maps, and we have a lot of history.
Well, I hope they rally around you because you've done a great job over there. We're going to be back on with Paul Dictos, your county assessor recorder and all-around great guy. Energetic guy, too, man. Outruns me at 81 years old. So, all right, we'll be right back after this on the Marc Kapetan Show. This is KMJ. This is KMJ, everybody. Boy, trying to intro this show all the time, it gets monotonous, Marcelo. Speaking of Marcella, who do they call if you have been injured in an auto accident, truck accident, or a motorcycle accident?
The Kapetan Brothers.
The Kapetan Brothers Law Firm. She knows. Kapetan Brothers. If you've been listen, folks, seriously, let me pot this music down. If you've been in an auto accident, a truck accident, motorcycle accident, anything like it, Paul, where are you going? Oh, you're going to put your jacket on? Okay. Paul Dictos is ready to leave the building, folks. He's had enough. If you've been we are serious attorneys. We really are. I go to work almost every day, right, Marcella?
Yes.
Every day, and unless I'm on vacation in Cabo or something like that, I'm in court almost all day, every day. And so we have a great reputation. We've done this for over 30 years plus, each one of the attorneys. And so if you've been in an accident, call the Kapetan Brothers. Good little Greek boys, right, Paul?
Okay, that's what I call when I have trouble.
Yes, you have. No, you haven't been in any trouble, Paul. But we do have Paul Dictos. He's the county assessor recorder. We do talk on a pretty frequent basis, and it's usually involving politics, law, sometimes just having fun. But you've been a good friend. You've been a really good guy with us,
Sure,
so I appreciate you.
Yes,
Yeah.
so you.
Marcelo was saying during the break that it's great that as part of your campaign signs, you actually had a recipe for Greek yogurt.
This is amazing. Yes, this is my family's old Greek yogurt recipe, which came from Asia Minor.
Minor.
My people come from Pontos, Potos.
Right.
Pontic Greeks used to live at the southern side of the Black Sea.
Yeah.
For thousands of years, for 3,000 years. And then during the population exchange between Turkey and Greece, we were moved out of Asia Minor and we came to Greece. So my grandmother brought that yogurt recipe with her.
No kidding.
And that yogurt recipe has been in the family. So I thought I should make it as part of my campaign.
you're like Alexander the Great. You're going to keep spreading the Greek culture throughout the world, right?
So for a while I had the yogurt recipe on the counter. As people came into my office, they took a picture, they took a copy of the Greek yogurt recipe, and people called me, "How do you do this thing? It's not doing very well, So I really guided them over the phone.
What's going to be on the next campaign thing? The baklava?
Well, the next campaign, I'm running out of ideas, But I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to have a beautiful sign this time around. It's going to be outstanding.
Okay, beautiful. Because one time you had like a brown sign. I'm like, Paul, no one uses brown. Well, come on.
I got my glasses back and I changed it to blue. I didn't have my glasses.
All right. Speaking of you coming from Greece, you know what? Before we forget, because this is really why you came in here. You're like, Marc, I need to talk about Popa. It sounds like a old like Greek
opa.
yaya. Opa.
People call it OPA. You can call it Popa or OPA. Popa stands for Property Owners Protection Alert. OPA is Owners Protection Alert.
Owners Protection Alert. Or it means OPA means like, in Greek. OPA. Okay. So this is a plan that you have and that the county has brought forth to protect the title of a person's property, right?
Yes. The FBI has told us that title theft is one of the fastest growing crimes in America.
Right.
And you hear the newspaper, you hear the news media, LifeLock is advertising.
LifeLock.
Protect your property, you pay $300 a year, they protect your property. Well, I do this free. LifeLock takes the information from my office.
So that's the biggest question I had is you got this thing LifeLock that they advertise all the time, and the guy who was a former, title thief, who shows everybody how to do it now, and they're all doing it. So, so the difference between that and you is it's the exact same thing, but you give it to the people for free.
I got the original records. Title comes to me.
Right.
Title lock comes to me to get it, and I give it to them free. It's a very simple process. You go to my website, you sign up, you give me your parcel number, and you give me your email. As soon as something is filed on your title, You get an email right away from me with a picture of the document that was filed.
Okay, now here's the catch, and that's what I was interested in. So you could go to FresnoCountyCA.gov, and you could probably search out this Search Property Owner Alert or PAPA, and try to find where to sign up for this thing. It's my understanding that a person could simply walk in and say, I have a quick claim deed, which is basically a easy, quick one-page transfer of title, and it's signed by the owner, and there's no proof that it's signed by the owner giving it to this other person. And you as the recorder have to accept that document, no questions asked. And this is the way title theft is done, where they're stealing a person's title. And you're saying this alerts a person that this recording or this filing has occurred, but you have no lawful authority to stop that from occurring.
That is correct. If it looks fair, if it looks right, if the signatures are wet, if they are wet signatures, and if there is a notary public stamp, yes.
Right.
However, Mama didn't raise a fool.
Okay.
What I do is I look at the stamp of a notary public, and I have a link to the lookup of the state of California. I can look up and see if that notary public has a valid license. Because, today you can buy a notary public stamp online for $10.
Right.
But I look it up, and I personally have caught 2 fraudulent transactions.
Look at you, crime fighter. Look at you.
The last month.
Really?
And of course the DA already has taken it over. But once they do that, I cannot undo what was done. They got to go to court. It's very expensive.
What is the remedy for the title, the original title holder, is to go to court and fight this out in court?
Well, once there is a filing that changed the ownership, I cannot undo it. He has to bring me a paper from the court authorizing me to undo what I did.
There's nothing in the law that says, listen, we're going to allow it to be filed, but be on hold for 30 days so that this notice could go out. And if a person comes to challenge it, then...
According to county council, I have no choice but to record it.
Yeah.
And once recorded, it's there.
Yeah.
And it has to be changed. The fact is that this thing is really rampant.
How many frauds do you think, or attempted frauds do you think occur a month?
I don't know. At this point, I know that the DA is investigating 3 plus 1 more that I gave him this time. But this is a problem that we have to fight, and I'm going to every city and I'm giving these flyers out. And
yeah, he has flyers that he's been passing out to us, and we'll put it on the website, on YouTube, and all that kind of stuff. You'll see it. So, and maybe we'll put a link to YouTube for this also, Marcella, and on Facebook and all that.
The crooks do not want to take your property,
and that's my understanding. Is they don't want the property. They want
the right to put a mortgage on it.
Right. So what they'll do is they'll put a loan. They'll go request a loan or apply for a loan. They'll use the property as security or collateral.
Yes.
And so they'll never see the property. They don't care about owning the property. Once they get the $300,000 for the loan, the home improvement loan or whatever it is, then they just don't pay it back. They obviously just take off with the money, and you're stuck. And the person, the title holder, is stuck with the loan.
If you want the house back, you're stuck with it. Yeah.
Wow.
So this is title theft, and this is what I'm fighting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to churches. I'm going to bars. I'm going to places. I put this card here into everybody and hand it over to people. People like it.
Who did you say was going to help you promote this at the churches and stuff?
Oh, Larry Powell.
Larry Powell. Yeah. And Paul Rodriguez, the comedian, is going to help you too?
Yeah, I'm going to ask him. I haven't asked him yet.
Our friend Paul.
But he's lined up. He's
I love that guy.
Yeah.
That is so great, man. I can't. So, okay, go to where again? To go to your website?
Go to the website. Go to the Fresno County Recorder's website, and it's as simple as ABC. It's 1, 2, 3.
It's simple as Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta.
Yes.
Okay, we'll be right back with Paul Dictos, your county assessor recorder on KMJ. This is the Marc Kapetan Show. This is KMJ at KMJnow.com or wherever you stream. Welcome back to the Marc Kapetan Show. Folks, you know the drill. If you've been injured in an auto accident, a truck accident, or a motorcycle accident, give the Kapetan brothers a call at 559-498-8000. If you've been arrested, give us a call. But more importantly, if you want to protect your property, protect it against title theft, which is rampant these days, go to and you live in Fresno County, go to the Fresno County Assessor Recorder's Office and search out the Property Owners Protection Alert, or POPA, P-O-P-A, and sign up for it. It's an easy, quick way to sign up for it. You will be notified if anybody is taking an action against your property and trying to file to take over your property. So Paul Dictos, who's here from the County Assessor Recorder's Office, has started this here in Fresno County because he says, I want to prevent crime. He's a crime fighter. Right, Paul?
I want to be your crime fighter.
You've done a great job over there, man. You really have.
Thank you.
You know what? When's your election?
Next year.
Next year? It hasn't even started yet. And watch this, Paul. I give you my wholehearted endorsement because you've done a great job. I'm your first endorsee for your next election.
How privileged. How proud I am.
How proud you are.
Thank you.
Folks, part of the reason why I love Paul Dictos, your county assessor recorder, is that another name for tax collector? Right?
There's no such a thing. Yeah. I'm not a tax collector.
Yeah.
I'm the assessor.
You're the assessor.
Oscar Garcia, my good friend, is a tax collector.
He's the tax collector. That's right. Okay, he's the bad guy.
People call me tax assessor. People call me tax assessor. And there's no such thing as tax assessor. I'm the assessor, and there's a tax collector.
So you assess the property. You don't collect it, though.
No, I assess the property, and I give the information to Oscar, and Oscar prints the bills.
Yeah.
I send them out to you, and he wants you to pay your tax bill by half of it by December the 10th.
That's right.
And the other half by April the 10th.
Yeah, believe me, I get those two little slips.
But without me initiating the assessment, there is no tax bill.
You also do all those great marriages and divorces and everything, right? You file all those things.
We have all of those marriages, divorces, and deaths. We have death certificates.
Yeah. Are you able to conduct a marriage?
Yes, I guess I have to get permission.
You refuse to put people through that? Okay. What I really love about you is when you came over from Greece when?
I came from Greece in 1967.
Okay, that now throws me off because it says here that the Dictos family's been here since 1910.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
My father came as a young man at the age of 17 from Asia Minor because they were poor. He lost his father, and he had an auntie in Orosi. So at the age of 17, he came all the way from Asia Minor to Orosi, and he started farming, and he had a small farm. He had a farm on the river. And then he became. Then he went to become a missionary. He went to a Bible college here in California, Southern California Bible College, and then he came to Greece, and he got married to my mother. And then I was born. I had three siblings. Yeah. And then we all came to America in '67 when he was superannuated. He was retired.
Right.
And the church invited him back. My father became a Pentecostal pastor.
Right. He was a reverend.
He was a reverend.
Which, folks, we don't call our priests reverends in the Greek Orthodox Church. But the thing is, you are a Baptist, Greek Baptist.
No, I'm a Pentecostal. My father was Pentecostal.
Pentecostal.
See, less than 0.5% of Greeks are non-Orthodox.
Yeah, literally 98% of all Greeks are Orthodox.
It's an oddity not to be Greek and not to be Orthodox.
Right. Now, the biggest thing, though, was that not only did you come back, you became a farmer like your dad.
Yes, I did for a while.
And get this, Marcella, your farm was how many acres back in the day?
Just 20 acres, nothing.
20 acres, but it is now called what?
Oh, are you talking about some? No, my father's farm was on the river.
Okay. How many acres did he have?
He had 40 acres.
40 acres.
Yeah, he's there now. But I only bought 20 acres. I found out it was so profitable. I lost my ass,
You lost your ass farming? You weren't a great farmer?
That was a very short experience,
But his dad's farm is now San Joaquin Country Club.
Part of
part of San Joaquin. Oh boy, don't you wish you still had that property?
Dad had, he had to lose it. He couldn't afford to even pay the taxes back then.
And look what you did. You came in and you assessed everybody's.
I have some tax bills, some old tax bills.
Yeah.
Here this. The first payment due was 8 cents. The second payment due was 7 cents. I have the tax bill on my wall. You come to my office, you go to see that. First payment 8 cents. Next payment 7 cents. Total of 15 cents on a 5-acre property.
Your dad lived till how long?
Oh, he lived to be 82 years old.
82 years old.
Yeah.
Mom,
92.
92.
Yeah.
Good Greeky blood.
Good Greek.
Greek girl?
Greek. Oh, yeah.
Orthodox, though, right?
No.
Oh, she was also.
She was Orthodox, but she converted to Pentecostalism.
But because of your dad, right?
Because of my dad, yeah.
Was that trouble for the family?
My wife was Orthodox.
Yeah.
And she got married to me. She had to change.
Yeah.
And she didn't have to change.
She didn't have to change, but she
wanted
did.
to change.
Was it trouble with the family?
No. I'm a nice guy. They love me. Their family
Not
loved
your
me.
family, their family.
Her family loved me.
Yeah.
They just embraced me, because I'm such a nice person.
Yeah, Stella,
yeah.
Okay, what's great about it is you had a wonderful connection with my dad, because my dad was he was a wonderful guy, accepted everybody, didn't care about race, creed, color, or anything like that, and proved it because when you met him, he said what?
He was a Greek, He said, Paul, you're a great guy, You come to our church, maybe you will join us. Maybe I'll join us,
Right.
But he embraced me, He took me in, and he liked to talk about the old country.
He didn't care. He may have invited you to church, but he didn't care.
He didn't care whether I went to another church or not.
And quite honestly, those old Greeks, the Orthodox, you had a bit of shunning by a lot of those old Greeks.
There was a little bit of problem, yes. Why don't you come here?
Right.
Why don't you make your cross, You're not a Greek.
Oh, because you will do your cross the opposite way that we do?
No. Protestants do not do the cross.
Oh, they don't
Catholics
do the cross.
do the opposite. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, in fact, I was in the military and I was singled out, because I did not cross myself,
Yeah.
So what happened? Well, I'm a Protestant. The guy says, "Are you Greek?" Of course, I'm Greek.
Yeah.
Problem,
But my dad, the colonel in the Marines, basically said, "We don't care. Or at least I don't care." And he basically gave you big hugs and says, "I embrace you."
He would come to the office, to my office, and just bullshit, all the time. And we just had a great time.
Yeah,
we just liked each other,
Yeah. Yeah, when I found that, I didn't know that when he had passed. Well, actually, he may have told me early on. But you came to me one day when we were talking politics and stuff like that, and you said, I loved your dad because he used to embrace me and didn't care that I was Pentecostal or anything like that. Yeah.
Now, I came to America with $23 in my pocket.
No kidding.
$23 in my pocket.
Yeah, of course, a car only cost $100 back then, Marcelo. As old as you are.
I bought my first car for $50.
You bought your first car for $50?
$50. I'm not kidding you.
I was just joking. Oh, that's funny.
$50. $100 you could buy a really nice car.
Isn't that great? Yeah.
That was in the 60s.
Yeah. You got married when?
I got married in 67, the year I came.
Oh, so...
I said, my wife was here. I sent her to a Bible college. That was the only way to come in. So I sent her as a student because I knew I was going to come. So as soon as I came up, she graduated.
So she was your anchor to get into the United States.
So we were married July 1st.
Oh, that's too funny, man. Married July 1st?
1967.
We're married how long now?
51 years.
51 years. That's so beautiful, man.
Great woman.
Well, America is lucky for having you, Paul. How about that for a segue?
Thank you.
The only
I'm lucky to be here. The
only thing that would be better is for you to come back and play your harmonica. He forgot to bring his harmonica.
I will. It's a deal.
I think what we're going to do is maybe have it as a bonus track on YouTube and Facebook on the video. So subscribe, smash that like button, everybody. And subscribe to the Marc Kapetan Show. Paul Dictos from the County Assessor Recorder's Office and a great personal friend. I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming to the show.
Thank you.
All right, Paul. We'll see you next week on the Marc Kapetan Show. This is KMJ. All my best to my recovering buddy, Ray Appleton, and all my best to the wonderful Marcella Solorio Taylor, who's sitting right here with us. We'll see you next week on KMJ.